Well, g'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this one, which is a stereo. Now this is a customer of mine, Michael, and he's had a few things in here as well as that horrible little PA system that we're going to surface mount that chip into. But anyway, this one, no idea if it goes. It's a stereogram, and there doesn't appear to be any names on it. I think it's a Precedent, maybe. I'm not real sure. So we're going to have a look at it. Where he wants the turntable done. We'll have a look at it. I think it's a BSR, looking at it. And the radio. He wants the whole lot going. Whether he wants Bluetooth or not, I'm not real sure, but I'll certainly mention that to him. Okay, now I'm going to take you on a bit of a Shango run and have a look around it and in it and so forth before we pull it apart. And yeah, this is sort of an introduction to it and find out what it is. And then part two will probably be the radio part of it. And part three will probably be, well, the turntable as well. If the turntable's straightforward, if it's a standard BSR, I'm only going to skim over the top of, because I've done other turntables on the channel. You can see them. So, okay, let's have a bit of a look at it and see what's going on. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it out of my workshop. There's not much room in here. It's a big workshop, but there's a lot of stuff. Okay, let's have a look. Righto guys, well, different camera, different sound, but we'll see how it all goes. Now, up here, okay, there's our turntable. And, well, what is he? It looks like a BSR. It could be a Monarch, maybe? Not real sure. And, well, over here is our radio. Now, as you can see, there's not much written on it. Hang on a minute, I've got to get you down a bit. No, up a bit. There you go. This camera's a bit tricky to use for a while. Okay, so there it is. Don't know what it is. Nothing written on it, which sort of brings me to a Precedent, maybe. Okay, now in here we've got amateur shortwave. We've got an amateur band in here. Shortwave, I think we have 2.5, or is this meters? What have we got here? Shortwave. Meters, okay, 4 meters. No, 49. No, I think, I'll just clean this up a bit. I think we've got 12 meg 11, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And we've got over the other side, from down here, we've got 60, 49, 31, 25. That'll be the meters down there. Okay, up the top here, well, yeah, standard old dial. So, yeah, there it is. Couple of little dings here and there. Don't quite know how we get that out. It's not a full restore, but it's make it fairly presentable. So, let's have a look. Around the back. Yeah, as you can see, there's not a lot around the back. Okay, in there, yeah, we've got a speaker in there. I'll just keep turning him around. Sorry about the camera work here, but yeah, we've got a roller speaker in there. And a lot of cobwebs. Cable's not too bad. aerial and earth, obviously. So let's. You've seen enough of the gallivanting around with this camera. I'm not as good at one-handed, and of course I'm not wearing a glove, as what Shango is. But anyway, that's the best I can do at the moment. Okay. I'd say it's a Monarch by the look of that. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a closer look. Let's get this panel off the back and find out what's under here, how we get the radio out. Obviously, screws on top, and it probably comes out up the front. But we'll go in the back here and disconnect whatever's connected to the record player. And yeah, got to get the back off to get these out. Okay, I'll bring in the other camera while we're doing this and have a bit better look at him. Okay, back on the other camera. And of course we all love to see the screws coming out, don't we? And it'd be interesting to see what we find with this one. It's not a bad looking old Graham. I don't think it's a Phillips or anything like that. So it's not a standard run-of-the-mill. It could be a Precedent, I think. Just by the look of the dial glass and the knob arrangement. Okay, what's under here? One screw down. Oh, okay. Yep, few spider webs. Yeah. Okay. Now, don't know how we attack this, guys. I think we might lay him on his back and go in from underneath, because there's nothing underneath here, and I'm not going to put my hand in there just at the moment, because, well, Mr. Huntsman could be in there, and I'm a bit scared of him. I don't like him that much. There's obviously a speaker line. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it looks like our audio cable. Oh, hang on. No, that's our power for the turntable, so that's easy enough disconnected. Power in, and this would be our audio cable. Two audio cables here that goes up there somewhere. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut the camera off and I'm going to lay this down on its back and we'll go in underneath. I think that might be the answer for it. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Okay, well, this is going to make it a little bit easier to work on, as long as that turntable doesn't fall out of there. Hopefully the thing's screwed up inside. Well, the little tags are in their place anyway. Okay, let's turn him around. Let's have a look in here. Ooh. Oh yeah. Red light, whoops. I'll try and get some light in there. Yeah. Well, you can see where the spiders have been. Okay, we'll be able to... yeah, I reckon my suspicions of a Precedent are nearly spot on. By the look of that. Top, yeah, there's four 2-pin plugs there, 2 for speakers and 2 for inputs, which is the normal layout. Transformer looks very Precedent type. And guys, I think I might get the vacuum cleaner on here for a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think I'll get the vacuum. I'll bring you in a bit and give you a look at what's inside here. Excuse the camera work. Okay, so that's what we've got. And yeah, if we have a look there, oh, where's a pointer stick? Here's one, screwdriver. Our output transformers are here, and up here, the two bottom ones up in there are left and right speakers, so that you can see them, and these two are inputs from our turntable. Okay, a couple of shielded cables. There's a ground wire there, which actually is part of the aerial, I think. And our power. There's not much else there's nothing else coming in from the turntable. And I think the radio will come out okay once we disconnect the speakers and the turntable. Just the screws on top, I think. And I think these valves here are a couple of BM8s, 6 BM8, or they might be 6 GW8 actually. They got that look about them. Maybe a 6CA7 there, maybe 6BE6 or 6BA6, something like that. But it's very Precedent looking style. Okay, guys, I'm going to get my vacuum cleaner and try and do something with this. I'll be back very shortly, and then we'll continue pulling this Precedent out of his box. Now, guys, that looks a fair bit better, doesn't it? I feel like working on it now rather than what it was. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a speaker plug up the top there, and we'll try and separate those two wires, which is ground and aerial. Top two, speaker, and one of the, yeah, they pulled out. Okay, they're not even in a plug. Okay, that's in a plug. That one's in a plug. Okay, so we've got this pair here. Get it all untangled. There we go. Now, the only thing we've got to, these have been taped up. The only thing we've got to do now is undo our little terminal block there. Okay. And I'm going to take the terminal block right off. I don't want it on the cables when I'm pulling things out. Okay, so that's just our motor wires, and there's our audio cables. Okay, and speaker there. So now the turntable is only a matter of the clips underneath, and well, we can get that out. I'll turn the whole thing around anyway, and we'll go around the other side, get the radio out and have a look at it, and the turntable. Now, this cabinet has to be tidied up, not fully restored or anything, but there's a bit of black paint needed along the bottom here. The actual cabinet isn't too bad, so I'm going to see what I can do with it. See if there's any chance of it looking nice. We've got to do the wheels, lubricate these, which is no problem. But anyway, let's get on to the electronics. Okay, let's get this turntable out. Now, I have to be pretty careful here it doesn't fall on the ground. Get behind it. Okay, there's one. And there. Now, very gently go around the front. Pull him out. Okay, that's what we got, guys. Yeah, and of course, well, you know what we've got to do with this one. You've seen me do one of these before. I doubt if I'll be recording a lot of this for you, but yeah, over here you can see dried grease in the mechanism. Yeah, there's a bit to be done. I think this is a Monarch, I'm pretty sure it is. There's nothing on it actually. That one's okay, but no doubt the little cam gear inside under here will be seized. There's no doubt about that. And of course we've got to try the cartridge and see if it works. It's one of those. So not real sure whether he's going to work or not. But anyway, we'll put him down. That's for the next video probably. And now for the radio. Now I think we've got 5 screws. Now whether the top comes off separate with this and the radio has its own screws, no, it doesn't look like it. Looks like the whole lot is held in by these screws. And we don't want to drop this one on the ground either. Right. Okay. This should come out. And maybe the radio does go out the back somehow. But yet it's all on this. We'll get these fellas off. Now what happens, guys? For you fellas that have worked on this before, I think the timber will push the chassis back a bit. The timber comes over it. Right. Okay. There we go. That's the front off. There's a screw there and a screw there. Didn't see that from the back at all. And they're just little timber blocks that glue on the back of here. Anyway, we'll know how to put this together. No damage there, so yeah. Dial looks good. Dirty, but all intact. And of course, yeah, typical Precedent. Anyway, now I think this thing, well, it doesn't go out. It doesn't seem to go out backwards. Yeah, it does come out forward. Okay, there we go. There we go, guys. He's out. Fairly dirty. Very dirty, as you can see. And yeah, 2 screws up the top there. Didn't know about that one. Little spider with his home in there, but I think he's long gone. Okay, I'll put it on the bench. Let's have a look. Right guys, well, here we go. I've got the speakers out. I didn't show you that, don't have to. 4 screws. Okay, what have we got? We got H, they're 8H00, so they're 8 inch and they're 3.5 ohm, as you can see on there. So 4 ohm speakers, and look at the condition of that. It's beautiful. There's a little hole there. The little animals, little insects have been around. One little one here, but otherwise all good. We can soon patch them up. I'm going to give them a brush down shortly. And this one, well, a little hole there, a nibble in there, but not much, and that's about it. The cork surround is perfect. Our gasket, it's no problem at all. And well, look at the back of that. I mean, that looks like a new speaker. It'll be very close to when I clean them up. But what we're going to do now is I've got them out to test this whole unit. So we'll be connecting these up. This one's got obviously the plug missing. Well, the Bakelite plug surround is missing off this one, and I think this one's there. Yeah. Okay. So you can see the fibre, not Bakelite. I meant fibre, the fibre washer that they mount in. So that's the speakers. I'm not going to clean anything up just at the moment. I'm going to do this as it is. Now, we do have a loose end here for the turntable. Okay, so guys, I'll be putting some insulation tape on this. I don't want this wandering around on the bench, for sure. Nothing's plugged in at the moment, so don't panic. And yeah, don't want to clean the spider webs up too much. There's this cable, this power cord will have to be replaced. As you can see here, you may not be able to see that, but I will show you. Now you can see it. Yeah, we've got to replace that power cable. It's the rubber's gone hard, so yeah, certainly replacing that at when we get to it. We're going to dim bulb this to start with. Here, this is just come adrift a bit. As you can see, it's the transformer's got all the writing on it, still on it, so which is good. And we're 240 up here, and well, there is no 230. This is very, very common with Precedent radios. Okay, so we've got to do something there with the power cord. As you can see, she's fallen to pieces. Okay, take yours back up there so you can see everything. Normally I don't. I try not to move the camera around too much for you. At the back, the speakers are the bottom ones on the plug. Okay, it's written here, speaker left, speaker right on those two, and then, well, the top two are the input for your gram, their phono input. Now, apparently this thing has a third position, and we can probably go Bluetooth with this. I'll contact the owner and see if he wants to do that, but on the broadcast shortwave, I'll take you to the circuit diagram of this after we test this to see if this is going to fire up. First of all, I don't like that. I might get a terminal block and just put on that to secure it and keep it out of the road. There we go. So that can't touch anything now. Okay, so now let's put our speakers on. And these are different sizes, obviously, for these type of plugs. And it doesn't matter which one goes in where. As far as left and right, we're not up to that stage yet. Where are we? We've got aerial and earth there, which we don't really need the earth. Whop him off. And both speakers in. Okay. Now, I'm going to monitor the HT. Now our 6V4, a little bit hard to get around this one, is in here. Okay, that's a 6V4 there. So if I tip him over, and well, there's a big cap, our main electro, there's another one under there. I'll just go for the first port of call here. This looks like it's been replaced. This looks like a bit of a, yeah, some sort of modification. That wire around there looks like it's been hot. We're going to go right through it. I will bring you back and give us a closer look at this once we, well, see if it's going to work first. Okay, we've got a little bit of insulation there missing off that transformer, which I'm going to have to fix up. Now, how can I do this? We're going to go this way. No, that's not going to work. I think we might have to go an alligator clip on this fella. Right. Now, on off. Has it got an on off switch? No, it hasn't. This one is on. Yes, it does. It's up here. There we go. Right. Don't know how this is going to go. Okay, that's our monitoring our HT. Here's our ground, which I can put on our green lead, our ground lead. We've got 0.9 volts there so far. Obviously an electro there that's holding a bit of charge. Right, I'll go around the other side here. And as I said, we've got our speakers all ready to go there. We will take our voltage up to 150 to start with. We're on that dim bulb, okay, which is only our, well, it's only a 40 watt of that one. Okay, it's on dim and we are turned off. Let's turn it on and you will see something happen here. Maybe not. Okay, we'll plug him in here and you will see something happen on that bulb. The 150 volts. Here we go. And dimming off there a little bit. As I said, that's only a 40 watt bulb, so we're going to have a little bit of oomph there to start with. That lights the bulb. We're watching this, which hasn't moved yet. Okay, we're just going to ease this, ease the voltage up. We don't have any movement yet. We may go up a little bit more. Okay, 180. And there she goes. There's some movement. There's movement on the HT. That's good. Means transformer's working. And, well, we don't know about the output transformers yet until we hear a noise. Here we go. Coming up. I normally take these fairly slowly, so it gives the old caps a little bit of a chance to reform and just not short out or go bang or something initially. Okay, we'll take it up a bit more. 200. And we may have to go to the second bulb there. And you will see the HT now rise. Second lamp is just lit. Not much HT there yet. Okay, fairly safe. We're going to go to 240. And you can see the lamp is lit up there a little bit. Still fairly low HT, but at least it's working. So our 6V4 is working. And I think we've got a little bit of sound. I might have been fooling myself. Okay, we're going to go for both lamps now. Okay, so that's both 1 and 2, which is around 100 watts. We're coming up. And, well, we've got audio and we've got audio. We've got audio both sides. That's good. Transformers are okay. Up to 90 volts. No smoke. Which is probably a disappointment for you blokes. Sometimes you want a scratchy control there. That's probably balance. This may be tone. And something's touching underneath there because it's dragging our HT down a little bit. We'll just put something underneath there. And as you can see, very dirty valve sockets. 150 HT. Is there any stations? We could be on. We could be on phono. Nothing there. Something there. Okay, we've got something. Let's put our aerial on. Now, HT's, I don't know what's touching under there. something of mine is touching underneath on this fella. Okay, 145. $143. We're on 240, 147. Let's put our aerial on. Not much.
A bit of both.
Oh.
Yeah, we in Act 1 kind of begins when John's in the RSL clubs, but then when Glenn Glenn Shorey leads Little River Band, and John actually joined
Okay.
with Little River Band, so we him going on tour with LRB, and so we get a lot of those great LRB songs as well.
Don't know. I think that's tone, and I think this one's volume.
My own, it's something that the music that I want to sing.
Very hard to turn.
It's on the Whispering Jack album. Of course, Finding the Voice was critical. That's the song that, you know, John was like, this is the one.
Just everything's dirty. You know. Everything's really dirty. This seems to be volume, that's tone. I'll just have a look at the front of this radio. I'll just grab it. And there we go, guys. Tone, on, off. And the next one's volume, balance. And, yeah, Graham, broadcast shortwave. Now, I'll show you something interesting about this one, of how we can maybe fit Bluetooth. Maybe. Once again, this depends on the owner. But, yeah, this it's working.
2026, when are you thinking the...
Which is good, but not a lot of stations. Not a lot at all.
They're doing pledges in the streets of Sydney, and all this stuff is being donated, which is then coming up to...
And
some of it was jumpers, and which is not really...
That's a...
the intention was right, and
well, that's a local ABC station, and we've got other local commercial there, and nothing else. No, she's fairly dead. Very, very deaf. Righto, guys. The next thing is I'm going to take this out, blow all the rubbish out of it, the spider webs, everything, clean the speakers up, bring it all back in. 148, yeah, should be a bit more than that for sure. Now, let's have a very quick look. This is only a quick look at it. 6V4, 255 should be the HT. I can go off the dim bulb. We'll try that and just see. But there's a couple of caps, 3 in a row here, which are probably all dead. And if we look at the switching, we've got a 3-position switch there. Oh no, hang on. That's radio. That's radio. Okay. And yeah, I was just looking at this switch of how we can arrange this for Bluetooth. But anyway, that's not our issue at the moment. We've got a couple of these, an 047 in the middle here, a grid, a 047 there, grid supplies, an 01 here, and of course an 01 there. Once again, could be leaky, but not coming from the HT or anything. So yeah, we'll save our BM8s by doing the caps and the electros fairly soon. That's sort of the place to start. We'll have to check our -15 down there, our bias voltage, which comes up here onto the actual balance. Okay, so it alters the negative voltage to the grid of the output grid of the 6 BM8s. In the front end, 6 BE6, a 6N8, which I like that combination. I like 6N8s. They just seem to work well for me anyway. IF455, there we go. So there's a bit of information. And as for the model, well, this could be anything. As you know, there's nothing written on it. It could be a 361, it could be a 561, or it could be a 761, depending on what gram it's in. 17th of January, 1962. So that's this fella anyway. All right, we'll come back to all that. I'll put a better circuit up anyway, and no dial lights, They're both long gone. Let's go and clean this thing up. Bring it back on the bench. Makes me feel more like working on it. And we'll use a different extension speaker. We know those speakers are both okay, so no problems there. And HT, well, out of interest, I'll go off dim bolt and see what we can get out of it. There we go. It's off dim. And yeah, I'm not going to push that, guys. We'll flick it off. I'm not going to push that because it didn't want to come up straight away. There was a fair bit of current drawing there, so not doing that. Okay, I'll be back soon when she's all cleaned up. Let's get her going properly. Okay, now I'm going to take the dial off its mounting plate here. And, well, the mounting plate, I don't know how well this timber's going to come up. It should come up pretty good. There's a couple of washers on the top of each one of these. And then we'll inspect the dial and have a look. And we'll sort of do some of the preliminary stuff to start with, to make sure all this is going to come up as we want it. It's glass, not perspex. It is glass, and well, the glass looks very good actually. Yeah, it's a little bit dirty, but as you can see, gee, comes up nice. Now, we may just clean this dry. I don't really, these are transfers and I don't want to put too much moisture on them for sure, because the dial glass is in too good order for this. Okay, we've done a little bit of cleaning up. Looks a little bit nicer. Got to do the valves yet, but taking the valves out and cleaning the sockets. There he is. Now, there is a date on this for the transformers anyway, the audio output transformers, the 20th of October 1961. Okay, now that's when they were manufactured, but I've got a feeling the radio was assembled in about 1963, so still fairly old. Got a little bit of cleaning up here. I'm going to replace this power cord very shortly. I don't want to be mucking around with this when I'm testing. Clean the front of it up. This come up quite nice. Just dust, dirt on it. I've cleaned the shafts a little bit. I haven't sprayed them or anything like that. Not yet. And there's the other side of him. There has been, looks like a little bit of water or moisture laying on the drum at some stage. Now, just put me light on him there a bit. It's a little bit of rust just in that spot, so I don't know. This is, which way does this go up? Yeah, it goes, that's actually upside down, so it shouldn't be any water there, but it's just strange how there's water there. The dial cord probably is original, but it looks in very, very good order, seeing it's original. So maybe that has been replaced. It works very well. Everything's working nicely. We will have to lubricate the shaft a little bit here, just with a dab of oil. There's not much to do there. The band switch, well, we've got to clean him up. But I think we'll start now by having a look at underneath. Now, as I said before, the green wire here is just connected straight to chassis. I'm not going to, because it's a 3-core flex, we don't need ground on here. We already have a ground connection. But I'm not going to cut it off yet because, well, that's handy to hook my multimeter on for a ground. So, you know, if you've got the 2 wires there, use that one for the ground. When you finish the job, well, pull him out then. Now, A little trim cap there and there. Now, these pretty ordinary. A piece of wire and some smaller wire wrapped around it, a certain length, to make a capacitor. Doesn't get much cruder than that, does it? And here. So, yeah, I won't be delving a long way into the realignment. This one here, same thing, a length of very fine wire, and at the end of him there, very fine wire wrapped around a length of enamel covered copper wire. And that's it. You wind it to a certain peak and leave it at that. Cut it off. Very cheap way of doing it. Probably the looks like the shortwave oscillator coil. I'm not sure what's what in here. That's probably well, that is the antenna coil. There's your antenna lead coming into here. So that would be the antenna coil. As for trimmers, well, you can see them. It's these things. So, yeah, I won't be doing much with them. Well, but it may be spot on. We don't know. We will be doing the IF, which is down in here. On those two, it's 455. And, well, I think we'll start off by, well, a couple of things. We'll do the waxies. We've got a mustard cap up here. Most of the time they're pretty good, but that looks like it has been changed. That's fresh solder there. So at some stage that has been changed. It looks like someone's been poking around inside this too. Could be the oscillator coil, possibly. That could be the oscillator for shortwave. This might be medium wave oscillator. Does look like it. What else is there? Let's have a look at what else has got to be done here. All the pots sprayed, of course, and lubricated up. This bit of a mess in here. This is a jungle. I don't know what's going on here, but that wire's been soldered in, that red wire. Don't know what it is. There's an extra cap here, but there are three caps, three electrodes, as you saw in the circuit diagram earlier. So that's probably them, but, well, don't think this one's original. 2710. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Whether that's not a date code, obviously. But anyway, I want to get this piece here in some sort of order. We've got a couple of waxies here, a couple of they're paper caps. These fellas, they would be very leaky, I would say. They're all part of the tone control. Your tone shaping down here. So we've got volume, well, yeah, waxy, and then we've got the balance control, our balance pot, I should be saying. Resistors, well, we just don't know. We've got to see. That one may have been replaced. Just looks a little bit different to the others, but about the same vintage, so I'm not real sure. Waxy down in here. Do these 6 BM8s, I'll just have a look at the circuit. They have a cathode bypass. No, not in this circuit. You can see the cathode goes straight to ground on both channels. So we're not too worried about any electrodes in that area there. Waxy's here, waxy. Yeah, okay. I'm going to make a start on this. First of all, I'm going to fix this up before it gets any worse, because I want to keep that as is. And I think I'll fit a new power cord on this. I do want to be able to turn this on and test it when I've done all this. So I think the power cord, and we'll give the valves a bit of a clean up. Now the valves, 6N8 in the front there, 6BA6 I think it is, and oh boy, he's tight. Yeah, 6BE6. So there you go. That's our converter, the 6BE6 converter mixer, and that valve's really, yeah. I'll probably clean these. I know we shouldn't, and it'll probably take the numbers off them, but that looks terrible. We're going to see, can I get it a little bit better than that? 6N8, your IF amp, and straight out of, well, IF amp detector, and then to each of the 6BM8s, left and right. 6V4 is our rectifier. Okay, I'm going to do a few things, and nothing that's very exciting on camera, so we'll come back shortly after I've done a little bit of tidying up. Right guys, now where I'm up to at the moment, I've replaced 2 caps here to the tone wipers, and there's 2 down in there that go from the tone pot to ground. So 2.1s in there and 2 047s to the wiper of the tone control that actually go back to the speaker feedback. So now it's a matter of I'm finally into this area. We're going to find out what's going on here, and yeah, how we can correct all this. First of all, I'm going to spray the tone pot while I'm here, and that will mean that the pot is finished. It's done. Oh boy, she's hard to turn, this one. Certainly needs some sort of lube in it. Very, very hard. He's coming a little bit easier there, but anyway, we'll work on that. And well, we know the on-off switch works okay. Yeah, right, we'll work on him and come back, but that area's finished. Now into here. Let's remove this big fella. I think there's been a couple of double ups here rather than replace, but I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll just see what's going on. Almost, there's my phone again. Almost need a bigger soldering iron here. Okay, now we'll just lift this resistor here for the moment, which comes off the positive line. This has definitely been replaced. There's bits and pieces of wire in here as well. There we go. Let's see what's going on. And we've got a great big bunch of of wire and rubbish in here. I'll try and get some of this out. Things going on in here. Now this one, I'll get him out to start with. Okay. Now, obviously a B plus line here. think we've got all the solder off it. Okay, let's see what's going on. This one is a 330 ohm, goes over to our 6V4. This cap is on the 6V4. So let's see if this is on the diagram for a start. Yes, it is. Okay, 6V4. We're coming from the 6V4. We've got a 16 mic and a 330 ohm right there. So this would be this cap here, 16 mic, which is correct, goes over through a 330 ohm to here. So this is more or less B plus 2. This is B plus 1, or B1, B2 if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so I'm going to take this off, this resistor, and yeah, I don't know what has been replaced in here, but it doesn't look real good. Okay, get that resistor out for a minute. Then this fella. Okay. Right. We're getting rid of this one. And it goes from the cathode of our 6V4. That's our output. And we'll put in a 16 mic. A nice new one. There we go. And it doesn't go to ground, by the way, these caps. This is our minus 15 volts, so it's held above ground by that 200 ohm resistor, and that's our biasing back over to our output stage. Okay, so minus 15 there. 200 ohm to ground. There should be somewhere, which would be, I don't know, probably this one. Yeah, that's a 200 ohm. And that looks original there, but we'll check him. We'll also do some cleaning up in here once we get to this one. But at the moment, we're putting a 16 in between, well, our above ground and our valve. Okay, so that's what comes out of it. 16 at 350 peak. And that is as hard as a rock. Be interesting to see when we're finished what these are like. Okay, I'll keep cleaning up here and I'll be back shortly. Now we will measure our 330 ohm resistor. We might do this while we're going. That way if we can see what's going on. Okay. 380. 385, really, it's out of spec, isn't it? 385. Now, I'm pretty sure that's making good contact. Best as possible. It's worse now. Let's see. Just make sure everything is making proper contact. Yeah. 388. Now it's supposed to be 330. So it's it is out of spec, and well, this resistor has also been hot. He's got a black spot in there, and this is to our B plus 1 to B plus 2. And B plus 2, well, it has had a capacitor here replaced. That one's as hard as a rock. If there's been a dodgy cap on the other end of this fella, it would mean that this has been running very hot. I might try and find another 330 that's within spec. It's a 5-watt resistor. I'm pretty sure I'd have something here, so we might do that. Now the capacitor, out of interest, just out of interest. Okay, I'll just grab my little checker and let's see what he measures. If we do these one by one, well, we've got nothing. We don't have to do anything at the end then. Okay, here we go. My phone never stops, guys. I'm sorry about that. It's always going. Okay, what have we got? We got 27 microfarad. Loss, well, 1.2, ESR 2.2. Yeah, I really find it a little bit hard to believe that on this thing. And it's been hot. Okay, 16 mic, so we'll go ahead and I will find another resistor on that one. Okay, I've got me a new 330 ohm resistor in there, 16 mic down to our bias ground. Now this one is next. Now how we're following this is, okay, there's our 330 ohm, 16. There's our ground via a 200 ohm. We'll measure him in a minute. And our 24 mic, sorry. Then it goes through a 3.3k to another 24 mic, which is this 3.3k here. And there's our other 24 mic. But let's get rid of this. And yeah, this has definitely been a bit of an add-on at some stage. There's a clue. Maybe 97? Maybe? Don't know how you'd read that. 91? 97? Anyway, there he is. That's what whoever did the job put in. And, well, let's measure him now. So, put that on there, that on there, and turn him on. Let's see what he measures. Out of interest. 31 mic, ESR 1.8, a loss of 1.1. But, yeah, 31, supposed to be 24. We're certainly not using him. Okay, so we'll measure our 200 ohm resistor here to ground and see what he measures. 200.3, that's pretty close, isn't it? Alright, now before I put anything else in, I'm just going to get in here and give this a little bit of a clean out just in this corner, and then I'll be back. We'll put this this cap across here, solder this resistor up, we'll put it 24 in there. Okay, so then I've cleaned up this corner. Okay, well, we're into this cap now, and he's attached to the ground over here, which we can attach anywhere anyway. Might be better off on the tag strip. We'll see how we go. But as you can see, this fella's been losing his guts a little bit. That's actually plastic, melted plastic. And yeah, be interesting to see how this one measures. So now we've got between the two tag strips, we've got this fella, a 3300 ohm. We'll just double check to make sure he's okay before we put him in. Mm, 3320, that's pretty close, isn't it? I reckon that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to run him down here, and I will turn him back into here and keep everything nice and straight and neat. As neat as we can anyway. Now I'm going to use a bit of flux on these fellas because they're older leads on the components, so we need a bit of gel in here. There we go. Right, solder him up. Looking fairly good. I'll just have to rearrange him a little bit. There we go. And at least with everything nice and neat and straight, the next person, if ever, can follow this fairly easily. I'll just take that fella up a little bit. That's it. And now we can get him down there. Now, before I put him on down here, I'll just put that there. We need to change this cap. This cap is attached to the chassis ground, so I'm using my good old scope iron to do this. It's the only thing hot enough. Well, I do have hotter irons, but it's no use in using the small iron to try and do this. The Heiko, it just doesn't cut it. These fellas are great, nice and hot. The old super scope, believe it or not. And these old fellas run on 3 volts, 3.3 volts. There we go. We'll measure him in a minute. The iron runs, let's show you here. This is old school, guys. That's the transformer. Okay, 3 volt output on here to the iron at in around 30 amps. And well, what we used to do to see whether the power's on was touch the iron on one of the terminals, and you think, yep, she's away. And as I said, that's only 3 volts, but a bit of current there. But that's it. That was how you used to test whether your transformer is actually turned on. Okay, a bit of trivia there for you. Let's check this fella. I've lost an end off my little tester too. These things keep falling off. They're, yeah, Chinese. Anyway, okay, here we go. It's a 24 mic, by the way, and 29 ESR 0.68, loss 1.9. Yeah, well, I don't believe that. 29's pretty high for a 24, and well, if you see something like this in your radio, you don't leave it there. You replace them. He's hard as well. It's a UCC, electrolytic capacitor, 300 volt working. Okay, let's put in another 24, and we might actually switch our radio on then. Although I will have to fit a temporary power lead on it, but we can turn it on, make sure our power supply is then working and up to scratch. We'll just check things as we go. I'd like to see, what is it? 255 volts. I'd like to see that there on HT1. Okay, not, what do we have? 150, 160 or something. Yeah, we need a lot more. Righto guys, there we go. The 24's in there now, as you can see, fair bit of space around here. Everything's arranged so that you can actually follow the chain of the power supply itself. That's how I like doing them anyway, so you can just easily look at it and work your way through it. Not a bundled mess like it was. So now it's a matter of I'm going to tack a very temporary power lead to this, fire it up, and just make sure that we can get up to scratch with our power supply. It's not a weak 6V4 or anything like that. So I'll come back to you shortly and we'll do some measurements. Well guys, I'm going to end this video now. I've gone into a fair bit of detail, and believe me, the next couple of parts will probably be fairly in detail as well. A little bit more detail than what I normally go into. So yeah, they're long videos, but if you're learning to do this, if you're learning to see what goes wrong, yeah, you better watch another couple of these. The next video will be something I didn't expect with this, and even the one after is another thing I didn't expect with this. They won't be as long as this video, but it will show you just what can go wrong. We'll come back to this. I'll keep editing. Obviously, I'm up to the stage now of alignment. So, but there's a little bit of a hiccup in the middle here, so yeah, it didn't work as planned. But anyway, we'll get on with it, and I'll put the next video up pretty well straight away after this one, and then we'll get on with the alignment. As I said, I haven't done the alignment yet. Hopefully that runs okay, but you'll see why there's been a hiccup on the next video. Okay, we'll catch you then, and thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell, and it will tell you when my next video goes up, and you better follow this one. A little bit of a trick there with a precedent. Back in the day, I'm glad I didn't have to work on these. Okay, catch us then. Bye for now.